Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is just absolutely chilling and honestly deeply psychological. We are unpacking the story of Arav and his fight against a phantom path. It's a supernatural anomaly drawn straight from local urban legends that literally blurs the line between reality and an absolute nightmare. We're going to break down exactly how this trap operates, and more importantly, how you actually fight back against it. So, I want you to put yourself in this exact scenario for just a second. Picture a stretch of road you know like the back of your hand, right? A totally normal, everyday commute. Now, what would you do if that road, which usually takes exactly 10 minutes to cross, suddenly just had no end? You're driving, the clock keeps ticking, the miles keep rocking up, but your destination, it just never arrives. Sounds impossible, I know, but that exact question is the terrifying hook of the anomaly we are exploring today. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the terrifying night road. Our story kicks off on a deserted stretch of road just outside the city limits. Now, on paper, it's just your standard asphalt and dirt. During the day, totally safe, perfectly normal. Cars come and go, traffic flows, takes a brisk 10 minutes to get through the whole thing. But as soon as night falls, the environment aggressively shifts. The darkness just feels heavier, and the silence becomes literally deafening. If you talk to the villagers hanging around the local tea stall, they'll tell you about truck drivers who take this route at night and report something completely impossible. Their fuel meters keep running, draining their gas all the way down to zero, but the end of the road never actually appears. It's like the physical space itself is stretching out. And adding to the lore of this specific cursed location is a figure the locals just call the Roadman. Nobody knows his real name. He only shows up after dusk, usually standing near a dry tree or broken signboard. He's got this incredibly tired face, a deep, unsettling sadness in his eyes. And the creepy part? He doesn't try to force anyone to stop. He just stands there and whispers this one ominous warning. Never go on this road at night. Rumor has it that if you're out there past midnight, you might see this sad, pale harbinger just walking right down the middle of the road, with his feet never quite touching the ground. Which brings us to Section 2, Arav's big mistake. Let's introduce our protagonist, Arav. He's a very grounded, logical guy, but that logic is about to completely fail him. So Arav is riding his bike at night, and out of nowhere, his petrol runs dry. Just awful timing. 10 minutes later, he realizes his mobile battery is virtually dead, leaving him totally stranded. Turning back would mean walking miles on foot in the pitch black. So what's his move? He makes the fateful decision to abandon his bike right in the middle of the road and push forward into the dense, dark forest ahead, hoping to find some help. As Arav is walking, he actually runs into that mysterious man standing in the middle of the dark road. He asks the guy what he's doing out so late, and the man just calmly replies that he lives in the jungle. Then, he gives Arav a very direct warning. Do not go forward. The road won't let you pass at night. But Arav, being the absolute skeptic that he is, he dismisses it entirely. He tells the man, look, this all sounds good in stories, not in real life. He says thanks anyway and literally just walks right past him. And honestly, this is his critical error. Moving on to Section 3, the never-ending journey. The exact moment Arav ignores that warning, the trap snaps shut. What started as a bad commute instantly morphs into an urgent, claustrophobic nightmare. Arav is now locked in a phantom pass. It's a spatial loop that actively preys on human perception. So as he keeps walking, the environment around him actually starts warping. The road starts feeling impossibly long. And then he notices he just passed a specific turn in the road. The landscape is literally repeating itself, building this overwhelming sense of panic. He keeps walking and boom, he passes the exact same tree. The visual markers are looping seamlessly now, creating this bizarre geographical prison. And then there it is, the exact same broken board. What's absolutely fascinating and terrifying about this is how the road actively disorients its victims. It uses these familiar landmarks not to guide you, but to completely break down your psychological resolve. Arav is walking in a perfectly straight line, but he is going absolutely nowhere. The sensory isolation he's experiencing at this point is just terrifying. The silence gets so thick and suffocating that Arav can hear nothing but the sound of his own heavy breathing. Then, out of nowhere, a disembodied whisper right by his ear calls out, asking, "Where are you going from this road?" He whips around, but of course, no one's there. And then we get to perhaps the most chilling detail. He looks down at the dirt and he sees multiple sets of footprints, but every single footprint is pointing forward. Not a single one is coming back. I mean, just imagine seeing that. It's a visual guarantee that nobody who ever walked this path came back. All right, Section 4, the Unknown Shadows Warning. Utterly lost and really starting to grasp the horrifying reality of his situation, Arav encounters that pale-faced man a second time. He's desperate now, demanding to know what is happening, why the road won't end, and where these voices are coming from. And the man delivers a pretty grim revelation. Turns out, he isn't some monster, he's a former victim. He tells Arav that he walked this exact path once too, but he made the fatal mistake of looking back. Because he looked back, the anomaly couldn't consume him completely, but it fused his soul to the road forever. He says, "The road couldn't take me completely, so I'm stuck here. I warn others so they don't get trapped." He is permanently stuck in this purgatory. This leads us right into Section 5, Arav's frightening fight. And this is really the core focus of our explainer today. How Arav fights back against the phantom path. The cursed man gives Arav a very strict set of survival rules, because you cannot fight this environment with physical strength. You have to use psychological defiance. Step 1, do not let fear dominate you. Step 2, never, under any circumstances, look back. Step 3, even if they call your name, ignore it and do not stop. And Step 4, deny the road's existence entirely. The absolutely crucial point here is that Arav has to rely 100% on sheer willpower. The phantom path feeds on acknowledgement and fear, right? So to beat it, he literally just has to refuse to play its game. Gathering every single ounce of courage he has left, Arav puts those rules into action. He closes his eyes to completely deny the visual illusion of the loop. He blocks out the terrifying sounds. He simply walks blindly forward into the darkness. He keeps pushing and pushing, until suddenly he feels a shift in the air. A cold wind blows, a distant light finally breaks through, and as he takes his very next step, he falls flat on his face, right onto the ground. He opens his eyes, and it's morning. He successfully shattered the loop. Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, an unsolved mystery. So Arav survives. He relied on pure psychological endurance to beat an impossible spatial trap. But as we wrap up this explainer, we're kind of left with this lingering, unsettling sense of dread about the true nature of this location. Because yeah, the sun has risen for Arav, he's safe, but the story notes that the tragic pale man, he is still out there, standing by that dry tree. Arav escaped, but the anomaly itself remains completely untouched and unbroken. The trap is just resetting itself in the daylight. Which leaves us with one final, incredibly provocative question to think about. When the sun goes down again, who is the road waiting for tonight?